Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Meaningful Motivations with Tracey Erickson. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracey Erickson. And tonight, I decided that it would be a great night to deeply cleanse my tarot and oracle cards. It has been raining since last night where I live. So it rained all last night and all day today. So this evening, I decided it would be the perfect time to go through and give my highly used tarot and oracle cards a well-deserved cleanse. Because I've been using them a lot lately, so they've just been getting a lot of energy attached to them. So I do usually say I use sage or Palo Santo or both to cleanse my decks before I use them. But sometimes I want to cleanse them even more because of excessive use or just because of maybe a lot of negative things coming through them. So anyway, I thought it would be a good time to just sit down and do that tonight, but like show you guys how I do it. So basically, I'm starting with this deck that I use regularly on this channel. But what I do is I go through each and every card and I put them in two separate piles that I would deem negative or positive, like a negative or a positive outcome. And I just create those two piles. It's a way of going through each and every card and giving them individualized attention in some way. Anyway, so the idea behind cleansing cards in this way is kind of twofold. Not only are you going through each card kind of spiritually, mentally, just kind of scrubbing that card clean, making it become neutral again, giving it its own just individualized identity through each and every card. But at the same time, your cards are like an extension of your own intuition. You can look at your cards as though they're like a living being or something like a living being. Maybe not fully a mind of its own, but an extension of your own intuition. So therefore, it's important to spend time with them. It's important to really treat your cards like they're special, if you know what I mean. Because the more that you do, the more that they respond. But they respond in a way that's basically, they're more of an extension of your intuition if you spend time with them and treat them with dignity and respect. So going through and giving them a thorough cleanse is a very important way to stay connected to your cards. So I'm going to make my two piles here of positive and negative situations cards. So now I have my two piles of the positive and the negative, and look, they're actually pretty even. Interesting. All right, so once I've separated out the cards in whatever way I've decided, then I just give them quite a few shuffles, and I just kind of ponder the cards and let myself think about them. I just thought something while I was shuffling the cards. Basically, I'm moving on to the next deck now. This is my Rider-Waite deck. I'm going to shuffle them while I speak. But it's kind of like petting a cat when you sit and shuffle your cards as a cleansing shuffle. When you pet your cat, it starts to purr. So everybody's kind of like that, right? You give it a little attention, it's like... So think of your tarot cards in a similar way. The more you stroke them with attention and cleansings and shuffling, whatever, the more they're going to respond to you. And so basically, the more you love your cards, the more the cards will love you back. All right, so now I want to show you how I cleanse my Rider-Waite deck. So the way that I do that is, I love to always start with shuffle. I don't know. It's just the thing I do. Stroking my cards. Making them purr. Okay, so the Rider-Waite deck is made up of the major arcana cards, which include cards like the Sun, for instance. And then there are the minor arcana cards, like the Knight of Swords. All right, so the minor arcana are the swords, wands, cups, and pentacles. And then the major arcana are numbered from 0 to 21, I believe. Anyway, so what I like to do is I like to separate out the major arcana cards into their own pile. And then I put the swords in their own pile, the cups in their own pile, and pentacles, etc. All of the different suits will go into their own piles. So in this way, I'm kind of like resetting the deck. So first I separate them out in that way. Once I have separated the cards into all of their separate piles, I take it even a step further. Then I will take all of each of the piles and put them in order, in numeric order, according to the number on the card itself. So once I've separated them into all of the suits for the minor arcana, that's when I go through and put each of these smaller piles in numeric order. And then I put the page, knight, king, and queen at the end of the order of the cards. And I put the ace at the beginning. So now I'll go through and do that. After I put all the piles in order, I just put them back into the deck. Now they're all in order. And I shuffle them all together again a few times. I just sit with the cards and shuffle them freely with nothing particular on my mind. Just pondering the cards themselves. So the more attention that you give to your tarot decks during this time, the better. And each deck could have its own individual way of being cleansed. So the situations deck, I just put each card in two piles. A pile that I might deem negative on first glance, and a pile that I might deem positive on first glance. And so I do pretty much the same for my True Crime and Conspiracy deck that I use regularly. This deck is really big and has over 100 cards in it, but they aren't numbered. So I do similar where it's like one stack will be negative connotation and one will be positive. And then, you know, it's my way of going through the deck, cleansing the cards, almost bringing them back to just their neutral point. So that all of the information that's been read through them isn't necessarily like stuck to them, making them spiritually, like energetically mucky or dirty, right? So it's just a good time to go through, touch each and every card in the entire deck. The True Crime and Conspiracy deck had more negative cards, but not too many more, honestly, because this was my negative connotation pile, and this was the neutral or positive. So it's a little uneven, but it's not too far off. It is True Crime and Conspiracy after all. But again, once I have the two piles, I take each side, the negative and the positive, and I integrate them together with a shuffle. And I do one big shuffle, but since it's such a large pile, I do like to split it up and then just continue shuffling the cards for a while, just to give them a good cleanse. All right. Now I've pretty much cleansed most of the decks I wanted to get cleansed tonight. Those three needed it the most. You will know intuitively when it's time to really cleanse your cards and to give them your loving attention. So listen to your intuition and listen to the cards, because again, your cards should be an extension of your intuition. They are not merely images printed on paper, although that is what they are, but they have the power that you give to them with your own attention and with your own mind. So, again, follow your intuition. You will know when it's time to really cleanse your deck. If you feel like they're just a little sticky and murky, if they're, acting a little unclear to your intuition, that would be a good time to do something like this, where you go through and you look at each and every card, put them in their proper perspective, in their proper order, or whatever, and then shuffle them all together again with a clear mind, so that the cards, as an extension of you and your intuition, can then also become clear again. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button and share this video with all your friends out there. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to click subscribe down below. And once you have subscribed, you can turn on that notifications bell if you would like to be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.